so we recently returned from one of the most stunningly beautiful countries in Europe. Known for its cheese, chocolate, fondue, and cows, not to mention the lush countrysides, soaring mountains, and oddly blue lakes. This country has so much to explore that you would need a solid month just to see it all. Make sure to watch till the end because I also want to mention a couple things that I would skip if you're on a tight schedule. Now sit back, grab your favorite snack as we explore the top 10 things to do and see in the beautiful Jungfrau region of southern Switzerland. Starting off the list, in no particular order, is the lush valley of Lauterbrunnen. This small village has a population of only 3,000 people, but sees many times that in tourists every year. The name Lauterbrunnen means many fountains, due to its 72 different waterfalls in the valley, and most of which you'll never even see. One of the biggest and most famous is the nearly 1,000-foot Giessbach waterfall. This is the highest free-falling waterfall in all of Switzerland. You can take the short, steep hike up behind the waterfalls, but be prepared to get a little wet. A walk from the train station through the entire village will take less than 20 minutes. Giessbach Falls is another popular waterfall at the end of the valley, but you have to take a bus or walk for about an hour, so plan this only if you have the extra time. Head over to the train station and jump on the Wegen and head up to number 2 on the list, and that is the car-free village of Wegen. After a quick 10-minute train ride up from Lauterbrunnen, you'll arrive in this cozy little town that overlooks the Lauterbrunnen Valley. People come here to get away from it all and enjoy the peace and quiet, and of course the stunning views. Others come for the central location and easy access within the region. Besides some small shops and restaurants, and beautiful old hotels, there really isn't much else here. However, one of the coolest gondolas I've ever been on can be accessed right in the middle of town. And for an extra 5 francs, you can ride on the top of the gondola and get an open-air panoramic view as you head straight up to number 3 on the list, and that is Mannlichen. Sitting at just over 7,300 feet, you get sweeping views over Wegen and the entire Lauterbrunnen Valley. Take the short and steep Royal Walk up another 375 feet for some even better views. This is one of the best spots in the area to take kids because of the unique playground. The giant cow slide is definitely a piece of art. The little trampolines and bowling alley set it apart from most other playgrounds. The restaurant next to the playground has some nice indoor and outdoor seating, but the menu is your typical overpriced Swiss food. Mannlichen is also the starting point for a bunch of epic hikes, including number 4 on the list, that is the Panoramic Trail from Mannlichen to Scheidegg. This is a nice and easy 2-mile downhill hike that is even doable with kids. There are plenty of spots to stop and rest on the way down.
I feel like I'm in a Bob Ross painting.
The views of Mount Eiger, Minch, and the Jungfrau are spectacular the entire way down. Right before you reach Scheidegg, you'll pass by a little hotel restaurant named Grindelwald Blick. They have an observation post that offers an elevated view over Scheidegg. You can even see the trains coming up from Grindelwald. As you finish the trail, you'll come across several other restaurants and watering holes that seem like fine places to kick your feet up after that intense hike. We found one next to the Jungfraujoch platform that lured us in with these delicious limoncellos and some sort of apple strudel. Scheidegg is the transfer station for the Jungfraujoch, and that will take you up to number 5 on the list, and that is the Jungfraujoch, also known as the top of Europe. Jungfraujoch means maiden saddle in German, because it saddles 2 mountain peaks in the Jungfrau and the Minch. Watch the weather forecast to make sure the weather will be somewhat clear before you buy your tickets, and try to get the first train in the morning going up. The observation deck, known as the Sphinx, sits at over 11,000 feet and has panoramic views over the largest glacier in the Alps. You will find snow here 365 days a year. Back inside, you can take the self-guided tour through the entire place. Check out some of the cool ice sculptures as you navigate through the Ice Palace. You can learn all about what it took for the brave pioneers to carve the path up here back in the 1800s. You will eventually end up in Swiss chocolate heaven, also known as overpriced chocolate for tourists. But you're on vacation, so grab a bag and fill up. After you've had your fill of the Jungfraujoch, head down to the Eiger Gletscher stop and catch the amazing Eiger Express gondola down to number 6 on the list, and that is the scenic and lush Grindelwald. Heading down on the new Eiger Express, you'll have sweeping views over the entire valley, and it is so incredible that it seems fake. Take a leisurely stroll through the welcoming village and check out some of the shops and cafes. When you're done, take the gondola up to Grindelwald Fist for some mountain adventures. The Fist Cliff Walk is free and is a must-do. If you're afraid of heights, don't worry, it's really not that high from the jagged rocks below. The popular Burgesthaus restaurant is at the end of the cliff walk, and it's a great place to grab some lunch or a cold beer to calm your nerves. There are 2 different types of zip lines. One is a single rider that you can do with someone else, and the other is a giant eagle that fits 4 and glides down to the bottom. If you'd rather stay on the ground, then you can ride the trotty bike or the mountain cart down to the bottom. Grab a seat on the side of a hill and watch the paragliders take off. This cow had a front row seat and he did not want to give it up. Definitely add Grindelwald to the list as one of the better places to stay if you're visiting for the first time. We're heading over to Interlaken for number 7 on the list, and that is take a boat ride on the beautiful Lake Brienz. This is just one of Switzerland's 7,000 lakes, and it's known for its majestic turquoise waters. I recommend buying a 1 or a 3-day pass if you want to do several trips or get off at multiple stops. The pass will be good on Lake Thun as well. This brings me to one of the first well-known places that I would probably skip, and that is the small village of Iseltwald. It's best known for the Seeberg Castle that sits on the tip of the peninsula. However, it's not open to the public. On a nice day, it is beautiful here, but there really isn't much else to do. The small bay has boat rentals, and there's a little dock over by the ferry landing that has become a popular Instagram spot, but overall we found it to be kind of a waste of valuable time. The one place I recommend stopping on the trip around Lake Brienz is number 8 on the list, and that is the Giessbach Hotel and Waterfall. Once you arrive at the ferry landing, you have 2 choices. Hike up to the top, or for 10 francs, ride up on the oldest funicular in Switzerland. Once you're at the top, it's just a short hike up to the best part of the waterfall. But you can hike up as far as you want. Grand Hotel Giessbach has a rich history dating back to 1857 and was once a place of high society. In 1947, after 2 world wars and many years of decline, the hotel was almost demolished. But thankfully it was saved and today remains a great asset overlooking Lake Brienz. Back to Interlaken, we head over to the Harderbahn rail station and ride the funicular up to number 9 on the list, and that is Kulm. A 10-minute ride up the mountain takes you to over 4,300 feet of elevation. The viewing platform jets out over the hillside and provides unobstructed views of Interlaken, Lake Thun, and Lake Brienz. This is a great place to grab lunch or a sunset dinner. If you're into extreme hiking, you can hike the ridge overlooking Lake Brienz for panoramic views over the lake. There is also a hiking trail that goes down the mountain next to the viewing platform, but I'm not really sure where it dumps you out. Heading back to where we started in Lauterbrunnen, we take the gondola up and catch the train to reach number 10 on the list, and that is the small car-free village of Murren. This cozy village overlooks the backside of the Lauterbrunnen Valley and has a few beautiful hotels and a couple of restaurants with exceptional views. I found Murren to be a magnet for hikers because of the different trail options. If you're on a tight schedule with limited time, Murren might be a place to put on the if we have time list simply because it's not quick and easy to get to. This brings me to the last place that I found overrated and very expensive for what it is, and that is the round-trip gondola tickets from Murren to the Schilthorn. The tickets to get up here are not included with any of the passes that you can buy, and it will cost you an additional $85 per person. There is a thrill walk and an observation deck at the first stop in Berg, which was probably the best thing about the entire experience. The trip up to the Schilthorn was a little underwhelming, maybe because the Bond movie that was partially filmed there was from the 1970s and I've never seen it. But the views from the top weren't very impressive either. Overall, we thought the half-day trip to Murren and up to the Schilthorn were probably better spent somewhere else. Not to be Debbie Downer, but that was our experience. Other than that, the Jungfrau region of Switzerland was an amazing experience and we will definitely return at some point in the future.